This film is made by the Friends of Elvaston in the summer of 2010. This is the south front and the main entrance to Elvaston Castle. This is where the film Women in Love was made, partly made here with Oliver Reed and Alan Bates and Glenda Jackson. Very popular film at the time. And the naked fight scene was carried out in the Gothic Hall just inside the main doorway there. This is being filmed from the parterre garden, which was once the site of the Garden of the Fair Star, created by William Barron. Derbyshire County Council wished to dispose of this on a 150-year lease to developers, and the public will not be allowed beyond at least where those bollards are in this film if this happens. Therefore, it is very misleading to say that public access will be on the same level as it is now or will not be changed, which is what the council claims. In actual fact, what will be created is an exclusion zone, and the only way you'll be able to enter that zone is if you're using the restaurant or the bars in the hotel complex. Otherwise it will be an exclusion zone for those people who can't afford to do that. This is the eastern side of Elvaston Castle, and from where I'm standing now, which is way down below the steps, public access will be barred unless using the hotel, restaurants and bars. This is the northern or lake side of Elvaston Castle. And if this becomes a hotel, under proposals to dispose of the place for 150 years, everywhere beyond that fencing that you'd see will be out of bounds to ordinary people. The only people who will be that side of the fencing are those in the hotel or the hotel restaurant or bars. For the rest of us, we'll be outside looking in. And there's a view through the archway into the courtyards. Most people will be familiar with this side because a lot of people have picnics here by the lake. You can probably hear the wildlife on the lake at the moment. Here's another view of the inner courtyard, and all of this area will be out of bounds to the general public unless they're using the hotel. This is a view through the castle courtyard gates, and this is the route that the road through will take when if this becomes a hotel and golf complex. None of the area that you see around you here will be generally accessible to you as a member of the public. And there of course is the main house and the cafeteria. View from the west side. I'm now going to walk the route that the road will take when it comes down through South Drive and through the gardens down to Coronation Drive. All of this area will be banned to members of the public who aren't using the hotel, restaurant or bars or the hotel itself. And this will be the road in for vehicles entering the hotel. All of the area you see before you, past the castle main front door with the parterre garden to the right, is due to become road. As will this here. Everywhere you walk now, And normally the only vehicles approaching are staff vehicles going into the courtyard. Will be vehicles entering the hotel complex, customers of the hotel. And we're a little bit further along the road, going towards the point where it will join the complex that comes through from the South Drive. People don't realise that the amount and scale of the roads planned in this park, together with the signage, drainage and lighting that they'll need. A little bit further along the road, and almost at the point where it meets with the South Drive complex. Don't underestimate how much traffic will be down here. It's the main route into the hotel and conference centre and anything else you might want to put there. Gymnasium, restaurant, etc. Many people will recognise this corner, but the road away to the right is the one that comes down from the South Drive and past the old ice house and the secret garden, and that's sweeping round and back up towards the castle on the route I've just come. This is the South or London Road Drive access to Elvaston Castle Country Park, the only access which is served by public transport, and yet on the gate there it is permanently chained up. Access is via unauthorised entrance via the hedgerow on the right hand side as you're looking. This is the view from inside the lodge, which was demolished some years ago by Derbyshire County Council on the grounds of safety. This is the view down the South Drive, which was the original carriage entrance to Elvaston Castle Country Park. The developers wish to build a road here to gain access to the country park for the purposes of turning Elvaston Castle into a hotel and golf complex. If that were to be the case, then a road would exist here with signage, lighting and all the drainage that's required and all the things one would expect with a road, and where for 40 years people have wandered freely and unhindered with themselves, their children and their pets. This will be a road into the new establishment. We're now standing over halfway down the South Drive, looking towards the Golden Gates in the distance, and it's quite apparent that this place will certainly become somewhere much busier than it is now, with vehicular traffic and fumes and all of the problems that entails. That's back up towards the London Road Lodge House. These are the magnificent Golden Gates, said to have been captured by Napoleon from the Palace of Madrid and taken and erected in front of the Palace of Versailles, captured by one of the Lords Harrington in his military campaigns. The road is set to go straight through those gates and down towards the castle. This is the point at which Stable Drive meets the South Drive at the Golden Gate. This is set to become a major crossroads, with delivery traffic, hotel traffic, conferencing centre traffic, church traffic, the cricket club and anything else that's going off. We're crisscrossing at this point, which at the moment is just an access road. No one will be able to walk safely in this point anymore. It'll be like being on the M1. This is Clover Close, one of 5 medieval ridge and furrow fields registered on this estate, which goes back to the Domesday Book in recorded history, but in actual fact has occupation layers dating back to the Middle Stone Age. Clover Close is opposite the Golden Gates and is set to become part of the golf courses. This is the original carriage drive on the northern side of the Golden Gates approaching the castle, which is behind this camera, and is part of the original carriage route. It's recently been widened by DCC gardening staff, and some people believe this is where the road will be built. In fact, this is where the developers have stated the road will be built should they get the lease, the 150-year lease on Elvaston Castle Country Park. The developers have stated what we believe to be absurd, that they won't be building a new road but reopening an existing route. Clearly, a carriage drive from 200 years ago represents nothing like a vehicular access of today in 2010. The road bends round to go down towards Coronation Drive, past the old ice house. This beautiful woodland path borders the wildflower meadow and oak flats, and this is destined to be on the very edge of the golf course complex. So once again, anybody who walks around here, when there are golf courses to the right of us, we need a crash helmet at the very least. And we're now looking across a footpath across the wildflower meadow in front of Green Gallery Wood at the side of the A50 Link Road at Elvaston Castle Country Park. This is the area which is wanted for golf courses, and to which the Derbyshire County Council claims there is no public access. This area was used by the National Vintage Tractor Association North Derby branch for many years for its annual ploughing contest. They camped and caravanned here regularly over a weekend, and the public were invited along. The Friends of Elvaston holds a CD filming several years in succession of this event happening. Part of the area which is wanted for golf courses. Now in the 2002 as amended 2004 conservation report by Hilary Taylor Associates, it's recognised that this area is crisscrossed with bridle paths and footpaths used as of dedicated right by generations of people in this area. This is part of the area Derbyshire County Council claims is not open to the public. This is leading across to the Coronation Plantation you can see in the distance. All of this area is scheduled to be ripped up to put golf courses into it. All of these flowers and all of the hundreds of butterflies that you can see will be displaced